Hey photography friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be talking about a topic that's essential to every photographer, and that is how to capture sharp photos. Whether you're just starting out in photography or looking to enhance your skills, these tips will help you achieve crystal clear images that will make you truly stand out. So let's dive right in. The first step in capturing sharp photos is to understand your equipment. Learn about your camera's autofocus system, different shooting modes, and how to capture images using the factors of the exposure triangle, like shutter speed, aperture, and ISO. Each camera is unique, so spend time reading the manual. You can watch YouTube videos for your specific camera model and practice using the settings in real-life situations. The next factor is to choose the right lens. Lens selection can play a big role in the sharpness of your photos. High quality lenses make a big difference. You can invest in prime lenses or premium zoom lenses that are known for their sharpness. You can research and read reviews to find lenses that fit your photography style. My next tip is to perfect your hand-holding technique. Being able to hold your camera steady is really important. When you're shooting, keep your feet shoulder width apart. Tuck your elbows close to your body, press the viewfinder gently towards your brow, and create a stable foundation. When you press the shutter, you can try to time that with your exhale and try to keep calm and not jittery. This will minimize camera shake, which could lead to blurry photos. Another tip is to master autofocus techniques. Achieving sharp photos is actually a skill that takes practice, so if it takes you some time to master this, don't worry, you're not alone. It does help to choose autofocus points. I like to choose a single point in autofocus and place that point over my subject's eyes, especially during portraits and close-up, which is what I focus on mainly because I'm a wedding photographer. For dynamic scenes with more movement, I like to switch to continuous autofocus. I also like to use back button focus when I'm shooting a wedding or anything. Using back button focus is helpful because it allows me to switch quickly between single point focus, continuous focus, and manual focus, depending on the situation. I find being able to do this quickly is essential because at a wedding, things are moving fast, and being able to switch quickly between those modes is really helpful. Another tip for having sharp photos is to use tripods or other stabilizing devices for situations requiring maximum stability, like low light photography or night photography. A tripod is your best friend. Make sure the tripod is stable, and you can use a remote shutter release to eliminate camera shake. Another common problem I see when I see blurry photos is a low shutter speed. So shutter speed directly affects sharpness. If you want sharp photos, make sure to keep your shutter speed high enough so that you can freeze any motion. A general rule of thumb is to keep your shutter speed as fast as a reciprocal of your focal length. For example, if you're using a 200mm lens, keep your shutter speed at least as high as 1/200. I find this is a really common mistake, people having a really low shutter speed that can result in blurry photos. There is a trend to have these blurry photos now, so if you want to have blurry photos, try having a lower shutter speed. But if that is not your goal, try to keep in mind having a higher shutter speed will help you freeze the motion and result in sharper photos. This is also a reason why I suggest using manual mode when taking photos if possible, so that you can be aware of your settings and you can be aware of things like shutter speed. Another tip is to choose your aperture wisely. Your aperture directly affects the depth of field and the blurriness of your photos. Wide apertures create a beautiful background blur that I love. At the same time, it's a shallower plane of focus. For sharper photos, if you notice that you're shooting wide open and your photos aren't sharp, consider increasing the f-stop so that you can get sharper photos. Another factor that can affect the sharpness of your photos is the lighting conditions. In low light situations, it helps to use external lighting in order to get sharp photos. You don't necessarily have to have your lighting off your camera. You can use your flash on your camera, either directly on your subject or by bouncing it off a surface, and that will help you get sharper photos. So there you have it. Those are my top tips for ensuring that your photos are sharp. Remember, practicing is key. Go out and experiment and learn from your mistakes. It helps to review your images after shooting them, look through them, find the photos that aren't sharp, and then try to figure out what went wrong so that you can prevent that from happening in the future. If you found these tips helpful, please give this video a thumbs up and please subscribe for more content. I will see you next time. Bye.